Hello, I'm Rachel.
I'm Victoria.
And I'm Farron. Welcome to the Back to Lit Class podcast.
All right, I thought we'd start by talking about how long we've known each other, like how we met. And I feel like the funniest way to do this is to describe our first instance of meeting Farron, because that is just always a good story.
Jeez.
Victoria, do you remember the first time you met Farron?
She, just basically walked up to me in kindergarten and was like, "Hey, you want to be my friend?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Done.
And we have just been, best friends ever since. Give or take, a couple weeks in middle school.
I thought we were going to bring that up.
Is that when you left Farron?
No.
No.
No, it was a separate time when I tried to break up with Victoria.
Yeah.
It was like days, not even weeks.
That's a good one.
Sure. We'll go with that. Barrett.
I feel like I had the similar, introvert meets extrovert, and the extrovert just claims them as their friend. I remember the first time, but I do remember pretty early in our friendship where you made me run a mile on your parents' treadmill downstairs while watching a horror movie, which I would not choose to watch. But you were like, "Here's this portable DVD player. Run a mile. It's 11 p.m.
Well, Rachel, at least I got the better end of that deal. She made me watch Taxi. When she made me
while you ran a mile?
Yes.
I don't even remember why I chose these movies or made you guys run miles, but I'm sure I thought it was for your benefit.
Do you remember the first time you met Rachel?
No, I was actually trying to think about it.
I don't remember the very first time. I just remember being like, why am I friends with this person? I guess I am.
I don't know why I did that, but I was very controlling, was the key word. No,
yes.
Controlling. Just in a different way.
Just a different way.
I remember with Victoria, I was like, you have to eat this cheese. And I don't know why I was
specifically Kraft
yes,
American
Kraft slices, with the microplastics in them.
Not even good cheese.
And I was like, it's cheese, you have to like it.
Before she would let me eat an apple.
Yeah, I don't even know what's wrong with me, but
not too different from, I feel like, how you are now.
Yeah.
Except the opposite. Now Farron would be like, you have to eat this apple before you eat this cheese.
Yeah. I'd be like, only fruits and vegetables. Thank you.
Rachel, unfortunately, I don't really remember you much.
I don't really remember meeting you
from
either.
Elementary school.
We just we're in because of Farron. We were like, now we are friends.
I just needed to make friends with every single person that was breathing. And
I feel very special.
Well, I hung out with you every day, Rachel, and then I just remember feeling so serious about also those dances that we made up in 5th grade.
Right.
That is a prominent memory in my mind, and I just remember taking it so seriously at recess.
Our poor teacher, we would make her watch. We would practice and practice and practice. I remember her sitting in a metal folding chair, and we would come up to her and be like, now we're ready. She probably was like,
no,
not again.
Girls. We were like, this is our life's work.
We were like, we're gonna be cheerleaders.
Guess what? We were.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Victoria to be one time too. In middle school.
Yes, in 8th grade.
Oh, that was embarrassing.
I can't believe we talked you into it.
I'm just glad I didn't listen to you in high school.
Oh, to do it more.
You guys kept trying to get me and Megan to join junior and senior year, and we were like, nah, no thanks. Rachel, why don't you tell the people a little bit about what you're currently up to?
What I do now, less making up dances, although maybe sometimes
Mm-hmm.
would really appreciate if we like made up something together. But I'm a mom to 2 kiddos. I have a 4-year-old boy and a 6-month-old girl. I stay home with them. I was a teacher for almost 5 years, before our oldest was born. And now I just stay home with them. And it's great. I love it so much. That's what I'm doing now, using my expensive degree to stay home.
Hey, it makes you a better parent.
That's the way to be. Yes.
Better now we're doing a little bit of homeschool preschool. I'm like, oh, this is what I went to school for. All right.
What about you?
Yes, I'm currently waiting to have a baby. I'm due tomorrow.
Any day.
Literally due tomorrow. I don't think it's happening at all. But that's okay. He is very high and not dropping. So we'll just probably have to go get induced later. And I actually just worked my last day yesterday. So it was very emotional. For the last 5 years, I've been a nanny to one family, which has been amazing and such a blessing. I nannied 2 boys that are now 3 and 5. And yeah, yesterday was my last day. So it was kind of crazy. It's been a really big week. But now I'm just waiting to be a mom, and I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. And that's what I'm also using my fancy 6-year degree for.
Did you use your degree?
Yeah, tell us how your schooling life.
No, I haven't been. A very common theme. No, I have not been using my degree either. I mean, in like a making money sense.
Yes.
I was a, teacher as well. Worked the same place as Rachel for a little while before, oopsies, I got pregnant and became a stay-at-home mom. 3 kiddos. Oldest is 7. Middle is almost 5. She'll be 5 in just a couple weeks. And then youngest is 3.5. Now I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. So I'm in that season of I've been doing this for 7 years, and now what? Because they're all in school.
Oh, I tell you, Anthem, my oldest, he asked me that. Like, we were just sitting on the couch the other day, and he goes, Mom, what do you want to be when you grow up? I was like, buddy, I am doing it. Like, this is it, man.
Well, in his defense, when I watched them recently, I asked him, I was like, hey, what should I be when I grow up?
Yeah. What did he say?
He definitely told me a race car driver or a farmer.
Oh.
And I was like, which one? And he goes, both. And I was like, oh, okay.
He has 3 jobs for himself, so 2 should be fine. You can handle it.
Yeah. Totally.
So how this podcast came to be was that we all love books, and when we were in junior high, we would read in class. We probably weren't supposed to, but we would read the same book and then pass it around after we finished a chapter. And at one point, I think we had like 3 books going at once, and we would read one chapter in them and then pass the book along. And
we had bookmarks. Like, I remember.
Oh yeah,
I got them for us at a scholastic book fair.
Do you remember what was like on your tassel of your bookmark? Mine was a smiley face.
I want to say a dog bone. I think it was a bone. And maybe it was a paw. I actually think I still have it.
But yeah, we would read the same book, just a chapter at a time, like pass it around to each other.
Yes.
Read a lot of great books, like the Click books and those weird vampire books.
Cirque du Freak. How far do we get in the Cirque du Freak books?
I don't know. I was looking them up earlier and I was reading just the titles of these books. Farron, my parents would not have let me read these books. Killers of the Dawn, Lord of the Shadows, Trials of Death.
We were like 12. That feels old enough.
Living Nightmare, Vampire's Assistant, Tunnels of Blood.
Yes.
I think I do remember that one being like, I think I need to stop reading these books. This is weird.
I definitely did not. Maybe you guys already did those and then it was the Click books, or we did the Click books and then started those, and I was like, I have absolutely no interest in these vampire books. I am not reading them.
I don't
I
know.
did not read them, but I remember
like-
Farron really wanting me to.
I
Yeah, it's
really liked them. We read so many of the Click books too. Like,
There's a lot of them.
So we read them all.
There's 14.
well, all that were out at the time.
Uh,
I don't remember. We stopped at some point, but
You should read some of the reviews sometimes of those books.
what do they say?
Like, very little character depth, or they're like, they make teenagers sound not very bright. Like, well, they aren't.
Yeah. I remember thinking at the time, like, the drama in the books didn't make sense in real life.
Yeah.
Like, it was too much. Like, I just thought this would be easily handled. I feel like it was blown out of proportion, whatever it was.
Sounds like a great book.
Yeah. I liked them. I remember liking them.
We're basically taking the same premise of in junior high and high school, and we'd read the same book, but we're going to do it in a podcast, and we're going to reread some of our favorites or maybe not so favorite books from when we were in literature class together, because I don't know if we mentioned this before, but we've like basically been in school together for a very long time. Elementary school, middle school, high school. We all even went to the same college.
we were
Yeah.
roommates together.
We're going to revisit all those literature class books like To Kill a Mockingbird, Anne of Green Gables, Mice and Men, and like look at it through what we remembered from then, and then also like the lens of just rereading it as an adult and kind of seeing our take on it now. All right, let's end with some rapid fire questions. You have an hour of free time. What do you do? Farron.
Yoga.
An hour. Is that enough
Yeah.
time for you, Farron? I know it's usually like 2 hours.
Sometimes it's an hour 15 and then 15 minutes meditation, but I'll take what I can get.
Victoria, hour free time. What are you doing?
Either going to a thrift store, reading a book, or taking a nap.
That's my answer. Taking a nap.
Taking a nap. Ugh.
You'll see, Farron.
I know. Maybe when I have this kid, I'll be like, yes, naps. Okay, next question. Rachel, favorite cartoon as a kid?
All right. I loved the PBS show Arthur. Probably like way longer than I should have, but I loved it.
Okay. Victoria.
For sure, Rugrats.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Was not allowed to watch that show.
For me, I was thinking it was really hard. I guess SpongeBob. I didn't watch a lot of cartoons, but I think SpongeBob was one of my favorites. And I had brothers, so we had to watch something that everyone would like.
All right. Farron, what was your favorite, or what is your favorite movie?
Titanic. Obviously.
Yeah.
Rachel.
I just decided to never change it no matter what.
I feel like I like comfort movies like You've Got Mail, The Parent Trap. It's like classic comfort movies.
I would probably have to say She's the Man. It never ceases to make me laugh. It's such a bad favorite movie, but
I need to watch it
It's
as an adult.
so I never get sick of watching it.
What's your favorite candy, Victoria?
Definitely Reese's like holiday.
Like
They-
pumpkin?
Yeah, like the pumpkins or the eggs or the Christmas trees.
Mm,
They're different than the cups.
fair. Yours.
Gum. I don't know. I don't really like candy.
I don't.
I could throw out a random one, but it wouldn't feel honest.
The answers is all the candy.
I knew it.
But it's a real one. I thought about this a lot. It's the Nerds, the gummy clusters. Like the nerd, but they're the little gummy clusters.
Really? I would not have guessed that.
You should try it. It's delicious.
Rachel, least favorite holiday?
It's Halloween.
What?
So much
Okay.
effort. So much effort.
Victoria, what is your least favorite holiday?
4th of July. I hate fireworks so much.
I don't know. I love them all. So let's go with Columbus Day.
It's a good one.
It feels like that's my least favorite.
Introvert or extrovert?
I am an introvert.
Pretty
I am-
hardcore.
I'm also an introvert.
This is why we're friends with Farron.
Yep.
All right. Fill in the blank, Farron. Taylor Swift is
Taylor Swift. That's my answer, and I will not be changing it.
okay. Okay. Victoria.
Taylor Swift is really pretty.
Okay, Rachel.
I don't know. So many things. I'm just having a hard time deciding on like the best of all time.
The
Genius.
goat.
She's not very talented at singing. Is talented at other things like business and making a brand and all those things.
And songwriting.
I like her music. So I don't find her very talented. But I do love her a lot.
Victoria, what is your guilty pleasure?
Taking baths and like either reading or watching a movie while taking a bath.
See, I feel like as moms we're told like bathing is not
Oh, this is not to get clean. This is simply like hours in the bathtub, just relaxing.
oh
Okay, yeah, Rachel, what is your guilty pleasure?
like napping outside. I
Napping outside.
feel like a guilty pleasure means like something you should like be ashamed about, which maybe I like. I like falling asleep on a nice blanket under a tree on a nice day. So that means I'm not watching my children because I can fall asleep.
Oh man. Okay. Mine would probably be eating flaming hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
That is definitely a guilty pleasure. And recently I just bought a bag and I had to throw them away because I kept eating them. I was like, I'm throwing these away. So a lot of guilt surrounding that pleasure.
Did you eat any of them before throwing them away?
Yeah, like 3/4 of the bag, way more
Okay.
than usual. Usually I throw them away when there's like half the bag left.
Okay.
Why don't you just buy the snack bags?
Because the store by my house doesn't have them, which is frustrating. I am not a fan of that. I need to talk to them. Be like, you should get the small snack bag size.
The Farron thing to do is like, you should get the small snack bag. And can I pay half price for them, please?
Yes. And I would also like a discount. Thank you.
Go to the bookish rapid fire questions. These are all book related. All right. If you're going to read a book, are you going to pick a physical, like hard copy book or an audiobook?
Definitely a physical book for me.
I would probably say now that my kids are all out of the house, it's probably more likely to be a physical book, but audiobooks are definitely like, I don't know, probably my still number one go-to, just because I listen while I clean and stuff.
Yeah, I can listen to a nonfiction book on audio, but I cannot focus on a fiction book, like an audio fiction book. I tune it out.
What is a book that made you love reading, Farron?
Oh, I don't know. I have always loved reading, and I don't think it was necessarily like a book that did it. It was because I read with my dad almost every single night up until I was 15. And that just meant a lot to me. And so that really is what made me love reading. I got out of reading for a while in college, and I would say probably the book that got me back into reading so much is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I just love it. It is this epic fantasy, and I'm all about it.
What about you, Rachel?
I feel kind of the same. Like I don't have a specific book I can think of, but I can remember just going to the library like on a regular basis. Like my dad would take us to the library, and like I can just remember being lost in like my section of the library. Like I can remember the aisles of like if I was reading a series, like I knew exactly where that was. I would go find like the next book in the series. And so just like regular exposure to books and reading was like what made me love it. I think also like a freedom to like no one told me like what book to read at that point. Like I just got to kind of browse and pick what I wanted to read. I think that is what kind of kindled the fire of like, this is fun. I like this.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you guys about the I don't have like one specific book in childhood or anything that I remember that all of a sudden solidified the fact that I love reading. You know, I remember reading books with my mom, and she always did, you know, voices and made reading fun. And then I have a similar answer as Farron. Like after I had kids, it was much harder for me to find the time and focus on reading books. And the thing that got me, or the books that got me back into reading books as an adult, was fairly recently. It was during the pandemic, and it was the Harry Potter series. My fun thing that I would look forward to doing, you know, when we were stuck inside by ourselves all the time. And it got me, it rekindled that fire for reading after having taken, you know, a bit of a hiatus from regular reading, consistent reading for, you know, a few years.
Yeah. Do you have like a favorite book from your childhood, like a specific one that you remember really liking to read? Victoria, sorry.
Yes, I do, and it is Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree. It's a Christmas book. My mom always had seasonal books for us as kids that she would pull out every year. So I was always really excited every holiday to get to pull out those books and read my favorites from all those. But by far, Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree is one of my favorites, and it makes me cry when I read it.
Oh.
It's not really that sad or anything. It's just a really sweet book, and it has really pretty illustrations.
Mine would have to be I don't know. I would have to say A Secret Journey. I just remember really loving that book, and it's about a girl who gets deserted on shipwrecked on a deserted island, and kind of like her living there by herself. And I just thought it was, I don't know, a really fun read.
The one I remember reading the most, I remember my dad always reading, it was like one of those golden books that was The Taxi That Hurried. And I don't remember what it was about, but I think it was pretty repetitive and like had like all this like cityscape pictures of this boy and his mom like trying to get somewhere in a hurry. Like I just remember asking him to read that book a lot.
Okay, what are your guys' favorite kids book to read? to your children?
I just love reading anything that's like really silly, or ones that I can do like a lot of voices to, because I like to do funny voices and different voices for all the different characters.
We have a lot of Katie Hudson books, like Too Many Carrots, or ones like The Best Birthday Cake Ever. Like, I just like any of those books. If my son brings them to me, then I'm like, I'll read it.
I don't know what mine would be. I also like a lot of the voices. I like Good Night Construction Site a lot. And like I like King Baby.
You like I Love You Forever?
Well, I mean, I cry and I Love You Forever. I don't know if I necessarily like, I don't know. It gets me every time so hard.
So you
I
don't
cannot
like
get
reading
through
that
that.
one because it makes you sob, is what you're saying.
Yes, it's like full-blown sobbing. Like, and if you really like analyze the book, it's kind of creepy, but you know, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that one gets me hard. It definitely makes me cry the most. Okay, so for our first episode, we are going to be talking about To Kill a Mockingbird. And I hope you guys will tune in to hear what we have to say about our thoughts on reading it in high school and now. Some debate over what the book means and if we still think that it is relevant and should be continued to be read in school. And I hope you guys all tune in for that very special first episode. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.